In this video, we are going to start. So there have been, I've made I think 3 videos till now, and this is the very first video where we will discuss a problem and mm, yeah. So number of islands, lead code. Let's start with this question. This is a pretty informative question, and I hope you guys will get some value out of this question while I discuss this question. So, an island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. You may assume all four edges of the grid are all surrounded by water. Okay, and given an I started reading from here. Obviously, I did not read the first line, which is where the question starts. Always read from the first line. Given an m into n 2D grid map of ones and zeros, 0 is water, 1 is land, return the number of islands. And what is an island? It is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. By adjacent, we mean that along the edges, not corners, because they have said that the lands are connected horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. You may assume all four edges of the grid surrounded by water. So this is the grid, and outside the grid there is all water, and like this is just a snapshot of a very large world, we can say, which is all water, and there is some number of islands here, and we are just given a snapshot, and we need to say that what are the number of islands in this world. Okay, so how we will approach this question, and first of all, what is the question and what we can what are the insights that we can generate from the question. So one thing is that there are some questions that I have done in the past, or I know how to approach them. I have done maybe similar types of questions, so I will not. So I've not solved this question. Like I've solved it. I know how to do it somewhere, but not exactly on this platform, which I will be doing after this video in the next video. And but there might be some questions that I've already solved on this platform, and it is the and most of them are the ones that I have solved before making a video on them, because obviously if I don't understand them fully, how can I make a good video on them? How can I and but I will obviously replay my thought process while making the video, and yeah. And maybe I will maybe instead of doing that, we can do is that what we can do is that when I make the first video, when I read the question, I will maybe think on it by myself, and in the next video, if I can come up with something, then it's okay, and if not, then in the next video I will try to think about it offline, or maybe see the solution even if I don't get it after too much of thinking. And in the next video I will explain the solution, how I came up with the solution, and then we will jump to the code. But I understand this question, and this is my thought process and how I will approach the question. So first thing is about understanding the question. So 1 is a land and 0 is water. Let's say we have something like this. And this is an area of land, and this is one area of land. So number of islands is 2 islands. We have two number of islands. So I'm pretty new to this tablet, so I am having some difficulties, but I will manage. Here we have two number of islands. So how can we approach this question? Clearly, whenever we have a notion of connectivity, so I will get the black marker again. This is one, and we know that other ones are connected to it either horizontally or vertically. Let's say this is one region, and whenever we have a notion of connectivity, what can we think? whenever two things are connected with each other, and moreover there are some groups of connection. What are these actually? These are just some components in a graph. This is one graph, like this is one component of a graph, this is the second component of a graph. So, and we need to count the number of islands, that is what are the number of connected components. The question dissolves down to that. We just need to count the number of ones that are grouped together, and whenever we like start counting this, this is one group, and whenever we count, we don't count the ones multiple times in this group. Like this group is totally connected with each other. When we count one thing, let's say we count this one, so the other ones are also counted along with that. Therefore, whenever we mark this one as counted, we need to mark all the adjacent ones as counted, and hence the whole component will be counted. So this is just a simple graph question where we need to count the number of components, and it really helps down to dissolve or like make the questions easy by thinking it in terms of some known kind of question. And what we can think here is that this is just a graph question where the components are connected, where the land is sort of a connected component, and we just have to count the number of components. And how we will do this? So this is a graph, and let's say we start DFS at any node. Obviously I will not explain what a DFS is. You can obviously Google that, there are ample of resources and you can find many good videos, but I won't define what a DFS is. It is simply just traversing the nodes and marking them as visited, and it has numerous applications, but the simplest application is this. So let's say we start a DFS from here, let's say we start a DFS from any node. We will mark that node as visited, so we visit this node, then we go to its neighbor and mark them all visited, and hence we have visited this whole component. Now we will do this for all the other components. So the best thing is that whenever we start a DFS from a node, it will obviously mark that node as visited, and it will visit all the neighbors. Hence, whenever we start a DFS at any node of the component, it will obviously mark that node as visited, and it will go on visiting all those components. It's like a game of Minesweeper that you guys must have played on an old Windows computer, and even before that on some other gaming consoles. So we have like this, or some kind of variation of that game, Minesweeper. So we have kind of like a set of mines, and like these mines are all hidden up, and we don't know where a mine is. But for example, every cell is blocked in the beginning, and when you touch one cell, like if you touch this cell, it will blow up all the nearby mines. So here there are no adjacent mines, it will only blow up this one, and now when you touch this, it will blow all the adjacent ones. So this is blown, this is blown, and all these 4 mines are blown. It's because all of them are connected. So this is how DFS works. Whenever you start traversing a component, whenever you mark some node visited in the component of a graph or of a tree, DFS simply just it starts infecting everything like a virus, and it recurses on all the unvisited nodes, and it marks them as visited. So this is what DFS is. Now how is DFS being useful in this question? Sorry for that. So in this questions, obviously when ones are grouped together, first of all we can think this question graphically. So ones are just the nodes in a graph, and they are all connected to each other. And if two ones are adjacent to each other, it means they are connected to each other. So one thing is, either we can construct a graph, but that would be too lengthy. We can simply do a DFS on the whole matrix. Okay, so we can do a DFS on the whole matrix. So this is one, and we have some zeros also. Let's say we start at any one. So what we will do is that we will mark this one as 0. We can mark this one as visited. So what are the number of ways we can mark it as visited? we can either mark it as 2 or we can mark it as any other number except 1. So we visited this node, we marked it as 2, let's say 2 means we have visited it. Now we will just do the same recursively on its neighbor. So we mark this as 2, then we go to its neighbor and mark it as 2, mark it as 2, 2, and then go to its neighbor, mark it as 2 and 2. So this whole component is marked as 2. Now what will happen is, now let's say while doing a loop, or when we come to this 2, like not during this DFS, but when we come to this 2 separately, we know that it has been marked 2. It means that it must be a part of some other component which we had visited in the past, and the component has already been counted. So since the component has already been counted, we don't need to count it twice, and we just counted this component once. So this is how we will approach this question. Now we will do this for this component, and let's say now obviously this component, these other set of ones, they will remain as 1, and when we come to this one, we will say, oh, so this one is still 1. It means that we have not visited this component. So let's start visiting this component. Let's run a DFS on this component, mark this as 2, and visit all the neighbors and mark them as 2. And yeah, so this is marked as 2, and like this is another component. So that was one component, this is another component. So what are the number of components? The number of components is the number of times, or I can write it as the number of times we make the DFS call. Because whenever we make a DFS call on the starting node of a component, it will mark every other node as visited, and it has visited the whole component. And whenever we come to another node separately, another node which is marked 2 separately in the future, we know that since it is marked 2, it must have been visited in the past, and it is obviously part of some other component that we have already visited. So no need to start a DFS again, and no need to count this node again. And we will do this for every ones that we encounter in the array, and yeah, and every one we encounter in the array, and we will keep a count of the number of times we make the initial DFS call. So this is a pretty easy question if you think about it, and I don't know whether the video was too nice or informative, but I tried my best, and I'm still like learning how to write on this tablet, and hopefully in the future the videos will be obviously better than this. So let's start coding this, and we will do that in the next video. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you again.